Summer in July only means one thing, and we've been waiting for this for a long time. Black Friday in July. The sales are a few days away. It's basically the eve of Amazon Prime Day, following all these other retailers having epic sales in the month of July. At a local furniture store, you can see all the patio. I wanted to come over here, unfortunately, keep out. So this is as close as we can go. Thought this would be a great intro in front of Steinhaffel's Furniture Superstore, which I'm sure is going to have a sale of their own. This could very well be the biggest patio chair I've ever seen in my life. Alright, now here's a more familiar spot. We'll open up our intro right here. Didn't work out that well at Steinhaffel's. Welcome to this week's Walk and Talk. A lot of news from Arcade1up this week. We'll get into that along with the sales. Just days away for the Black Friday sales on Arcade1ups especially. There are other sales we will talk about along with and a little update on our 1K giveaway. We're about 100 subs away, so I'll keep everybody posted once we get there. Mr. Fox, we are just days away from epic sales that we have been doing a countdown for months. A lot is going on with Arcade1up, other sales happening, and some big news from Arcade1up. Also, I heard there's a great sale going on at Target right now. Just want to reiterate here that there are deals for the MVSX, and I recommend anyone who has not picked one up before, especially this one for $629 here on sale. This is the exact model I have. I want to say I paid about $569, so inflation has kind of brought these up a little bit, but something to check out. You know, if you don't see something from Arcade1up next week that you were looking for or hoping for, you can always go back to MVSX. There you can see 30% off, 30%, 15%. There are some 50% offs on some of this stuff. Unfortunately, not on any of the Ninja Turtles, but I did see this, and this caught my eye for something for Toys for Tots for $16.49 to pick up Mechanic and the Ground Ripper. This one really caught my eye. You get Ben Affleck's Batman, Ezra Miller's Flash, you got the Bat Cycle, 50% off, $10.99 for this. You talked me into it, Zod. Ben Affleck, your favorite Batman of all time. I couldn't pass on this, $10.99. Other than Best Buy and Walmart, that's all we've really found in Wisconsin that carry Arcade1ups, being able to go to a store and actually see something in person. Actually, back in the 90s, early 2000s, right behind me, the PGA Tour store once stood a Circuit City here. See, like right here would actually be that plug, that old red Circuit City logo plug. Those who don't remember, here's the entrance of a Circuit City, be created with basically that plug would come right down from the sky, and you'd walk in right in those entrance doors. If Circuit City still existed, kind of getting silhouetted out here with the shade. It's pretty hot out here, the sun's out. Might be a chance for rain earlier, but right now it's just beating down on me. Would Circuit City have Arcade1ups? Would it be a retailer? Heading into the storm, the closer we're getting to the Illinois border. Gurney Mills, one of the biggest malls in America. Six Flags Great America, Chicago's own theme park. We'll have to plan a trip for here soon. Right off of Milwaukee Avenue in Glenville, Illinois, Abt Electronics. Similar place, which I'm going to compare it to an RC Willey, for example. A West Coast chain. I want to say that RC Willey's in Utah, maybe Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico type places. I've never heard of Abt Electronics until I started reaching out, and this was that whole idea of if Circuit City was still around. Like if we could physically go to a Circuit City who would compete with places like Best Buy, Walmart, would Circuit City sell Arcade1ups? Would they get into a home arcade? Turns out Abt Electronics just outside of Chicago does. We'll go in here, let me flip this around. We'll go in here, we'll see what Abt has to offer. We had a good commute coming here. Seems like this is a pretty special store from what I saw online. We'll go in and check it out. We came right through these glass doors right here. You can see the entire workout selection. Home workouts along with this fountain. further down here. It's gonna be a little bit. We're gonna scavenger through this store and see what we can find. I did get some images online of their store here, and they were about, I don't know, 6 to 8 months old. I couldn't see if there was any Arcade1ups on display here, but just look at this massive fountain, the plane. They got escalators. We just went from this room over here. It's a very beehive of activity here. See what we all find at Abt Electronics. Get a hunch that the cave is the place we want to go. Just on the outside of the cave, you are greeted with this Pac-Man Pixel Bash cocktail cabinet. It's like a multi-cave for $3,125. So it is an actual arcade cabinet. This isn't an Arcade1up. I mean, you can just tell with the stick. You know, the buttons kind of feel Arcade1up, but this is, actually, I've never went up to a cocktail cabinet before, an Arcade1up, but here's the games list on what you're getting. This is a steep price of that $3,125. But a look at these games. Looks like 32 games, classic games included. And they do have an NFL Blitz here for sale, and some actual pinballs, some actual arcades, and off to the distance, I came here for Shaq Jam. Got a great story to tell about these, along with other arcades that they are selling here. And the going rate here looks like that $2,998 for the 32 licensed games. There are 2 full-size cabinets. You can just see the size comparison next to that Shaq Jam. I mean, the Shaq Jam's a big cabinet, and we'll get there in a second. The Pac-Man's Pixel Bash, there's 2 cabinets here, and the theming is a little bit different. Looks like there's a, is that a refrigerator? Looks like a mini fridge. I had to look at that, I'm like, they kind of got me off guard here for a second. So a mini fridge built into this. The other cabinet is just strictly where your coin door is. I guess you just press that for your credits, but I wonder if this is cheaper. So you are paying for the fridge. This is $2,598. Same game list. I mean, this is what we saw on that cocktail cabinet, multi-cade, 32 classic games walking in here. Pretty interesting to see this. You know, this is what I was referring to about other stores. And I know they take up so much room. I mean, where else can you go? This is basically a mall called Abt Electronics. And there's so much here that they can set these up for display. You can see, like, you know, these game rooms got a foosball table here. The darts, I mean, these are all commercial grade, and these cabinets, again, this is a commercial grade cabinet. Not every retailer can do this, but it brings people to play these and to check these out, see them in person. The games lists are identical on here, so you're getting all those Namco games. Okay, now I just want everyone to look at something really quick. This is the first time I've seen one. I mean, we've seen these in boxes. I have Golden Tee at home. Look at the screens. I'm standing on the right. Now this light right here is kind of making this is perfect, you guys. This looks identical to a BOE. I mean, just look at the difference on the Golden Tee. And you can see that this is going to be more straight up than the slanted. And they did say that if you're standing on this side, you're going to get more of that washout. But honestly, I mean, you just look at the marquees, for example, how much bigger that NBA Jam marquee is. This screen is absolutely perfect. You're looking at the price tag. That's what that corner is here on the side. But unbelievable. This is going to be a tough decision. This is going to go on sale. I mean, we know this is happening, especially with the big news that was announced the other day. And everyone should know the announcement, the NBA Jam Deluxe cabinet. Pre-order. Looks like they're going to ship out early October. And you're kind of in a catch-22 here, and especially me, because, you know, we've talked about the Shaq Jam. Let's get a silhouette here. For about, what, 97 episodes now. And you can see the artwork on the front here. There's a promo code if you're interested in pre-ordering this. NBA Jam 2023 to get $50 off, bringing this to $599. Now you're looking at this right now, it's $699 at Abt Electronics, also $699 on Best Buy. Arcade1up is running a sale at $599, so the same price as what you're going to get this for the $50 off. It'll be a tough decision for me personally. I do like the slanted control deck on the Deluxe, and this is probably about the same height as any 4-player any of us have. The screen being 19 inches, and it's so much better than what I thought. Like, I know there's monitor switches happening, you know. I don't see a reason like you would for Golden Tee. I mean, look at the difference right here. It's completely visible, and I do have this again, and I've lived with this screen. Because, you know, you're standing in front of it playing. It's totally fine. It's just when you go on either side of this, you're going to see an issue. You're going to see an issue on this side. So if you are player one, you get a little bit of, you know, discoloration. But anywhere else on here, it's absolutely perfect. I love the marquee being that size. When this baby gets down to $299, $315, I think it's a no-brainer for me. I'm gonna go with this. I thought I'd have a hard time. The only issue is you don't get that molded coin door, and that control panel is not slanted. And height-wise, you can just see, I wanted to say that Golden Tee was 65 inches. Shaq Jam is just under 67, 68, so I mean you can see that 1 inch, inch and a half height, it's going to be taller. This is Arcade1up's biggest, why wouldn't it be? Shaquille O'Neal, right? Biggest cabinet to date. You could argue the fact that you got the coin door on the Golden Tee. You don't have the coin door here on Shaq Jam. Now you could take this whole panel, and people have done this and flipped it around, put a molded coin door right on the front here. The only issue with that is you're gonna get this artwork, and this is something that I've been tossing around in my head for a while now. This will all be black, so you're gonna lose. I just like the NBA Jam logo. Having Shaq on the front here isn't a game breaker for me. If he's there, I guess I can live with it. It would be more, you know, arcade accurate to have that molded coin door there, but in doing that you will lose this NBA Jam, making this all black. Show off some of the other things that they have here, and these buttons, I'm not going to complain about Arcade1up's buttons, and I'm the first time me complaining just from playing more of my iArcade and going to free play arcades. You know, I just noticed that, you know, it is a difference with the buttons. Something that's easy to change out. I mean, I don't really see an issue why I'm even bringing this up, but these don't feel any different than an Arcade1up. So I just want to say, for something that's $2,698, the buttons are still, you know, very similar to Arcade1up. Trackball's a little bit better, I'm not gonna lie. But this is a commercial grade, I would say, you know? I mean, this is a commercial grade compared to a home arcade. Buttons are the same. Your trackball here is gonna be way better. $9,699. Now what's the sale here? After savings. You know, from everything we've heard about pinballs, you know, everyone's kind of expecting the $10,000 range. For the Dr. No to be at $6,798, I wouldn't say that that's not reasonable. They back this up here a little bit. And Sean Connery there. You know, everyone's going pinball, real pinball. You can make the argument of having a real pinball machine. I mean, this is something that you're gonna find at an arcade. I don't think $6,798 is unreasonable for this full-size pinball. Going from that flat control panel of the NBA Jam onto NFL Blitz, and that new NBA Jam cabinet is going to be, this is, I want to say 61 inches high. It's 63, so it's going to come up to about right here. Everything's going to be the same. The marquee is going to be the same. Hopefully not as washed out as your standard Blitz marquee, but you're going to get that slanted control panel, okay? And this is a selling point. Also, the buttons light up. I don't know if this was powered off. So looking at that stock marquee, now I did change mine out with Sabos. You know, you get that watered down NFL Blitz marquee. How is the tournament edition NBA Jam gonna look on this? What sells it for me is the control panel. You're gonna get the 2 molded coin doors as shown on NFL Blitz, plus that wrap. You're gonna get that NBA Jam Session wrap that actually I did buy through Sabos, put on my NBA Jam cabinet. But you know, you're getting the Deluxe. You know, I just want to show it to like all the retailers out there. I mean, look at all age groups. You put these things out, people will come up and play them. People will touch the pinball machines. There is so much activity going on in here. I mean, it was hard to even walk up to some of these machines. You know, you got to wait your turn. People want to go up to an arcade and play it. Some images here of the new NBA Jam. You can see that control panel slanted just like Blitz. And this one does go 63 inches high, so like we said, it's gonna sit higher, about an inch or two higher than where your NFL Blitz would. So if you have a Blitz at home and you want to do some comparison here, it's got the 3 same games as any NBA Jam we've ever seen: the Countercades, the Partycades, the Shaq Jam. But there are incentives here. Those light up buttons, you can see that wrap. There's that Jam Session wrap, and it's just so iconic 90s. Like, I just love it. Here's a look at the box, and what I did notice here is it says the vault, kind of like, you know, the whole Disney, you know, straight from the vault for a limited time. The FOMO's already building up, you know. I mean, to give us $50 off, to call something the vault, you know, special edition, limited run. Looks like a Shop Hippo exclusive. You know, they're really capturing, are you going to pull the trigger on something like this, or wait for a sale on that Shaq Jam? And just looking at the actual, like what you would see at a restaurant and a bar, the Golden Tee. I think they do sell the monitor separately, but you're talking around $6,000 for this. Something I did see online. I don't want to interrupt this gentleman's game. Kind of getting a little education here of my own on pinballs. You know, going up here, we have a $12,000 price, $11,000 price, and another $12,000. What's the difference is your back glass is so much bigger than that Dr. No. I want to say the Dr. No probably came up to the top of this screen. I mean, you're getting all of this. You know, I can understand that these, you know, just keep going up and up and up. This is a lot. But if you're that passionate about something, well, you know, what's to stop you from spending this money on the pinball you really want? And this is going to change. The Dr. No's not. I mean, you basically have your own screen. But if you wanted to go full size, I mean, it is reasonable. You can still find some that are almost half the cost of what some of these are. Look at what we can add at home. You can go real. You can go home arcade. You know, they're selling Blitz for what everyone else is right now, $5.99. I wonder if they do the same kind of deals we see with Best Buy, with Amazon, when we see all these sales happening. But just for posterity, this is the only place I've ever seen, either besides at home, these 2 arcades actually assembled, you know, at a store next to a real arcade, multi-cades that I've seen a lot of these. We saw them at a mall arcade, like this is kind of the trend malls are doing. If they're gonna go to a retro, they're gonna get something like this. There's a desire for these, and they can be in the same room with a full pinball, with a real arcade. And you just saw the people that went up there. Do they care that it's a home arcade? They don't. They were drawn to Golden Tee. They were drawn to the NBA Jam. I mean, how could you not be? The size of these things. It's just something to see. And I did see this statue of Humpty Dumpty online on their images. And this is the iconic area of ABT. And it just branches off. Like, again, it's the mall of their own, which just is on the back side of that fountain. And right over here is Thomas Edison. Very neat place. If you haven't checked this place out, I recommend stopping here. It's just, what a cool place, and we will definitely come back here again. And a bird's eye view from the second floor. We see the fountain, the airplane. Actually, where I'm standing is above where all those arcades were. The Shaq Jam. There's Humpty Dumpty and Thomas Edison. Right here is where we walked through. You can see those cameras over there on that back wall where the sunglasses and the home fitness stuff was just down the aisle. And a close-up of Thomas Edison. I did see pictures of the full-size aquarium online. Glad we got this in. There's just so much to look at here. Walked past this probably 5 times since I walked in here. You know, I see a huge aquarium inside of a store. There's all the customer service over here. It's just a thing of beauty, isn't it? Seeing XLs in the store. I know, it looks like the Star Wars pinball is actually the best bet here for just under $4,000. Got a lot of great scenes here from the Star Wars movie. I mean, you got the Return of the Jedi here, you got the Death Star. Not bad. You know, those other ones, yeah, I mean, you know, the back glasses go up so much higher, but, you know, you can get a Dr. No or a Star Wars. Both of these for basically the price of one of these bigger sizes over here. What's up, guys? Really cool place. I'm glad we made the trip here. And again, just check them out online if you don't live here. They do free shipping, and it's just breathtaking on some of the stuff we saw at Abt Electronics. I had no idea this stuff was here. Let's keep following me around. They followed us from Wisconsin. Stopping at an iconic place, the Oasis. It's been years since I've been here. You can see a look at I-94. Heading that way is Chicago. Traveling back towards Wisconsin, Lake Forest Oasis. As you walk in, we are actually about to walk right over I-94, and you can see there are restaurants set up on both sides, public bathrooms. Always reminds me of when my mom, my stepdad, and my sister, we'd always do our Chicago trips around, I think, Easter time. We would always stop here. It was just, I had to do this for a good memory. This is as far as we can go. We can't get on the actual railing here, but people can sit on both sides here. It's a Dunkin' Donuts. And just watching the cars. You know, you having your McDonald's, having your coffee right here. And we're just looking off to a distance here. It's unfortunate we can't see the skyline. But Just down I-94 is Chicago. Got pepperoni, cheese. Now they like to warm these up, and I always burn the roof of my mouth, so I always say this reminds me of going to the mall. We are facing Chicago side because we're going to be looking a lot the other way on our way home. But I'd go to the malls and get these in the past. I'd always say you don't have to heat them up, so I mean they are going to be kind of cold, but I just hate burning my mouth. Got the cheese. It's been a while since we did any food in the walk-in talks, but great pizza. Ever wonder where gummy bears come from? Price of gas, $4.29. Before we run into our home Best Buy, I want to talk about the NBA Jam Partycade. We're looking at the Shaq edition Partycade, currently on Amazon for $364. And the funny thing is, I went to look on this on Friday and it was unavailable. It's showing up again. Also, the Shaq Jam at NBA Jam at Best Buy is showing up again. That was off their website too. You wonder if there's going to be a sale on this because another Partycade was announced. We talked about the Deluxe. We saw the Shaq Jam in person. I was hoping somebody would get this to do a review just to see what it's all about. That control panel just doesn't look like there's anywhere to put your hands. But this isn't the only NBA Jam Partycade now. And a community posting from 19K Fox from Friday. Here's a look at the NBA Jam Partycade without all the Shaq decals on here. And this is currently gonna go for around $299. It's interesting that this would come out. There's so many NBA Jams out there. You have the two-player countercade, currently about $229. You have the Shaq Jam XL. You have the Deluxe coming out now, and then two Partycades, the Shaq and this one. So something's got to give, you know, something's got to get reduced if they want to push this model. And going back to 19K Fox's community post, he did capture Point Blank was on that games list along with Time Crisis. Now we didn't see Time Crisis 2. We saw Time Crisis, Point Blank, and Steel Gunner 1 and 2. Those were the leaks. Maybe it's only 4 games on that cabinet. We can all speculate on what we think's gonna happen. Only time will tell, but it is exciting to see us getting more Arcade1up light gun games in the very near future. And by the way, this Pac-Mania is for a little joke here. A little shout out again to Zodrider. Looks like they dropped the price. It's still too high for our blood though. $319.99. It was $399 a couple of days ago. $199, guys. $199, and someone's gonna come here, pick up this open box Pac-Mania cabinet at Best Buy. You know, every Best Buy has one. You gotta lower it if you're gonna sell this one. And just 2 days away from Prime Day, which we've been talking about, July 11th through 12th as of recording of this, Sunday, July 9th, 2023, I expect to see sales across all retailers on a lot of these Arcade1ups, especially something big on that Shaq Jam. And like I said, sales across all retailers, so it's not just gonna be Best Buy. But if you go through here, I mean, I don't expect to see any Deluxes on huge sales. I think they're gonna save 4 players. I don't think Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but a title like MK30th, the Pac-Mania open box that we just saw, Shaq Jam, Terminator 2, any legacies that have been sitting around. I think Golden Axe is a special cabinet. I think they're gonna hold on to that a little bit longer. But like this, for example, that Pac-Mania, this is something we could see a huge markdown along with Killer Instinct. You know, with every cabinet we see here, I mean, this is another example we just talked about. They removed this a couple of days ago. It's back online, $6.99. You see the in-store, $6.99. There's no incentive yet. But with all these NBA Jam products, the countercade's still available. This could be another markdown. The Red Cross drive, which is rumored to happen, could be another markdown, along with, you know, future sales that are known for their 24-hour sales. There's going to be a ton of stuff that we're going to be very selective, very choosy on picking up. But something like Capcom Legacy here, I mean, how many Street Fighter 2s play online? 3 of them. This one's just becoming obsolete. I mean, I don't see anyone spending $449 on getting this cabinet. This is another one. I expect something like this to be at the Red Cross drive, but I do think they're gonna sit on X-Men for just a little longer. Always exciting when they announce something new. The last couple of weeks, something has happened with whether it's At Games, iArcade, even that MVSX sale. It's not the greatest, but it's something. It's just something to consider on what I think is one of the best home arcade cabinets out there. We've been waiting for Black Friday. We're just days away from the start of these sales. We saw Target's kind of jumping ahead, showing us some stuff. We picked up some toys. We saw the XL Shaq edition next to Golden Tee. That screen is a lot better than I thought. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go that route or if I'm gonna get the Deluxe. The whole thing about the Deluxe is it's got that slanted control panel. It's so comfortable. And if you have any of the new form factors, you know what I'm talking about, especially the NFL Blitz. I just went up to that last night and just played it for a second. I go, it's so comfortable to play that game. But the Shaq Jam, it's just the size of that thing is so big. We'll see what happens. Probably do a show in a couple of days. We'll talk about the sales, see if I made a plunge. Leave a comment below if you're, you know, what you're hoping for in any of these sales. We'll talk about it in a couple of days. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next time.